Um, First off, we do not, for this class, we do not have a weekly Zoom lecture. Okay. Everything is already recorded for you, and I'm going to take you through that. The good thing and the bad thing of that is it gives you a lot of freedom. I know some of you have already mentioned that you work, and it's very inconvenient to do certain times. So that helps. The bad thing is you can procrastinate. I have 5 children. 2 of them have graduated. Well, one of them graduated before all this craziness happened. One graduated in May. I have one at Fresno State right now that's going through the craziness, getting ready to graduate. I'm a senior in high school. Has just been devastated by what's been going on, like some of you guys have been. And I have a 7th grader. All of them are learning from home, and I know the ups and downs of it, and I know how hard it can be. So I'll work with you the best I can this semester. I get it, but here's one thing you can't do: you just can't disappear on me. I know I get the pressures you're under right now, even if it's just school. It might not even be school. It could be work or girlfriend, stuff like that. You have to develop some consistent patterns, consistency in your life, just to keep going. So if it's every day you get up at the same time, if you don't have a job, get dressed, take a shower, go walk outside, start some consistency in your life, do some of the lectures from here that I have, and the rest of your classwork, and move on. But I will tell you, if you try to do all schoolwork for 12 hours a day and sitting in a square right here, it's going to be hard. So you're going to have to break it up. Find a hobby that you can get into. It's not going to take a ton of time. Don't go to golf because it's like forever time, but something that you can go out and do and get your mind freed up. Because if you sit in this room, you sit looking at a computer screen, or you sit there working on your homework, it's going to be hard. You're going to hit March. It's going to be like, this is crazy. I want to see all you guys make it all the way, and I'm willing to help. Okay. Just don't just disappear on me. Okay. So that's my dad advice for the day. I'm going to share my screen. I apologize again. That's so bad. It actually sounds worse than what it is. It was worse around the first. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Okay, hopefully you guys can all see my screen right here. Okay. Yes. It's the website on Canvas. Now I'm going to go in as a student. So I'm going to click here, student, so it doesn't look so crazy. You have the syllabus. You have the modules, you have grades, you have discussions, you have quiz, and you have this McGraw-Hill Connect and the McGraw SimNet, okay? All assignments are listed in modules in order by date. They're also listed in the syllabus under the timeline document, and they're also listed right here under calendar. So there shouldn't really be a doubt of when something is due. There could be a typo, because sometimes, when you're a teacher, you've got a lot of stuff you've got to turn over for the next class. If there's a date messed up, you don't understand, it's in, let's say, in the timeline here, you can always go to the calendar, because I guarantee you it's going to be right. Before I start in the syllabus, this SimNet and this Connect, there's a link to it. You have to have that software we use. It's not like something when I went to college, I know many years ago, when I went to college, there was books the teacher said I had to buy, and we never used them. You will use this like crazy. Now, that being said, order them through the Clovis bookstore. You can do it online. And what they've done in the past is they send you the codes. Because all you need, it's an online interface. All you need is the codes. So when you buy it, they should digitally send it to you, and you'll click on here, one on the Connect and one on the SimNet, and it will show you where to put your serial numbers and codes. Keep your codes for later on, just in case they disappear. Okay. So this is where they are, and we'll talk about it, and I will go into them a little bit. I will show you how to use them. I have already tons of videos made on how to use them, and we'll go from there. Okay. I'm going to go into the syllabus now. So I click syllabus. Hopefully y'all did a good job. I've been watching you. Y'all signed up for the Remind app. Okay. If you haven't, you should do it. That's if you want a text message, 81010, and then in the message you do at IS15 online, and you will get messages from me by your text. If you reply to those messages, I get them. Not everybody, just me. So that's kind of also if you download the app, you have a whole other interface that we can chat and talk. That's how I start like online office hours. In my syllabus, I'll show you where the online office hours are. But what I've noticed, I used to say, okay, let's go have a Zoom. I'll be on Zoom waiting for you. Well, I'd say 90% of the time, your questions are of this. Hey, is the test due tonight? Where's the textbook at? Or where's this and where's that? So what I've reversed it, I've decided is during my office hours, you can call me on my phone. I give you my cell phone. Just a second, I'll show you. You can message me in Remind or in Canvas. You can email me. And we establish what's up. Hey, Mr. Neighbors, I'm having problems. What's the problem? When I play your video, it's green. My next one will probably be, are you using Safari? Don't use Safari. Try Chrome. Oh, great, Mr. Neighbors, that worked. Period. It's done. I solved the problem. Didn't even have to open up a Zoom. We probably got it done in less than a minute. Now, if we keep having troubles like Mr. Neighbors, it's not working. I'm on Chrome. I still get a green screen. Nothing plays. Then I might text you back or remind you back and say, okay, hey, I'm going to set up a Zoom so that you and I can share screens. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is be proactive instead of saying, everybody come to Zoom, because I don't know about you, but I'm kind of tired of being on Zoom all day long. So we can get on it when we need it. And I want to be good at customer service as much as possible. I don't think you'll ever have somebody in this class say, I never get a hold of Mr. Neighbors. Maybe we didn't communicate the right way all the time. Sometimes I'll tell you just to call me. And so you call me and we solve the problem just like that. So there is the Remind. If you're not on it, get on it. I minimize it. Here's my syllabus. Come on, show up. I'll do it this way if it'll open up. Come on. Let's look at the timeline if that helps too. Can you see that? Do you see the syllabus or do you see the Canvas site still?
Just as the Canvas site still.
Okay.
Yeah, just the Canvas.
I'm trying to get it to open up inside. I'm going to go off and back on again here. Watch, I'll do this. The beauty of, I'm going to share again. I'm going to share the document for my syllabus. Okay, now you can see my syllabus. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. This is the information, okay, what's going on in the class. We're going to scroll down. You're going to see that basically I give you my cell number. Basically Monday through Friday, you can get a hold of me, usually 10 to 2. If I don't answer, most likely it's because I'm either on the phone or busy with another student. You can text to this phone number, have no problem. However, when you are directly texting me through this phone number, I would appreciate if you kind of tell me your name and what class, because I have more than one classes. I had 10 and I have this. Just say, hey, you know, Brent Neighbors from online IS15. Then I can reply back. If I get just, hey, Neighbors, I don't know how to do this assignment, you might get a message back from me going, who are you, what class, and what assignment? And I don't mean to be rude. I'm not. There's a lot of students. So there we go on how to, I prefer, download the remind.com app. That's a pretty darn good app. Or you can reply to any text that I sent you through Remind to your phone. Okay, that goes right to me. We scroll down a little bit. Okay. Again, I have shopped the best price. You cannot get a better deal on both applications than at the Clovis bookstore. It's probably the only time you're going to say buy something at the college because it's usually overpriced. It's not. And I will have students that will wait to buy it. They will run out and they'll try to buy it someplace else. And it's 3 times the amount. I think it's, if you buy it from the Clovis bookstore, isn't it like $92? What is it right now? Anybody know?
100.
100?
Yep, I bought it
100.
yesterday.
See, honestly, okay, $100 is a lot of money. I totally get it. But when I first started, that same package was over $300. So I negotiated with that company. I'm in a long-term agreement with them to keep, that's 2 pieces of software and 2 books that are included in there for $100. That's a huge deal. And all your testing software. So I know I'm not making it lightly that $100 isn't a lot of money, because it is. But
Excuse me, I have one question though.
go for it.
Okay,
Only
so I purchased it through Clovis Community, and they gave me 2 codes inside the packet. One of them is for the McGraw-Hill, the Connect. And where do I enter the second one in?
Well, we'll show you that the one is for Connect and then one is for SimNet. Because remember, there are 2 pieces of software that you have to do.
And
And
then I also have a question.
Well, you're going to have to wait just a little bit. We're going to get a little farther in, okay?
Okay, no problem.
The links for those 2 are coming up and I'll show them to you. But we're going to finish up the syllabus real quick before we get too far into, make sure you get these 2 pieces of software
Okay.
at the bookstore, and they will send you 2 codes. You need both of them for both pieces of software. Okay, because the SimNet is for the applications and the Connect is for the lecture part, the actual stuff that we're going to cover that just about technology.
You mean, sorry, you mean this one, yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
As I scroll down here, you see we will be covering, this is what we're covering. We're going to be covering 4 parts of Word. We're going to be covering 4 parts of Excel, 4 parts of Access, and 4 parts of PowerPoint. We will also have one on Windows will be the first part, okay? And we'll go over that just a little bit, but I just wanted you to know we're covering all that. If you have a Mac, an Apple or a Mac, or if you have a Chromebook, you're not going to be able to use the Microsoft Office software. Now, if you have a Mac, you can, but it does not have Access. They do not make Access for the Mac, right? So you're going to need to come up with a situation. It's probably around March. We'll have the 4 units, unit 1 through 4 on Access. And students are going to try to log in. They're going to go, oh, I'm on a Mac. Yes, it's got Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, but it doesn't have Access. That's right. They don't make it for it. So here's what I suggest you do. You can, when we get closer, check a loaner out from the college, but they are limited as it is. B, you can look at your aunt, uncle, grandma, mom, and dad and see if you can borrow their PC, because you can put this software on theirs just for that Access lesson. You can go to a friend's house and download it, whatever. It's just going to have to be done because you don't have a technology that will allow Access to be installed. Doesn't mean you don't have to be responsible for it. So you do.
So I just had a quick question on that. I do have a Mac, so will I be able to do all the other
Yes,
functions
ma'am.
of the class, just not Access?
You'll have to get it some other access. Do you have
Okay.
anybody that owns a PC that you know?
I have a PC that I can use for that, but I just
Yeah.
prefer using my Mac. So
Exactly.
like
You
you're
can
saying
do
is, like,
everything else with the exception of Access. Okay.
perfect. Thank you.
Because a lot of people, they listen and they don't think about it until all of a sudden March comes and they're panicked. As we scroll down, okay, we get to, my cell phone some more. Talks about the steps for help. Use the Remind app. If there's a technical problem, with SimNet or Connect that I can't solve, you can always call the 1-800 number. They'll get to you. If we can't figure it out, we're going to do more interaction. That means I'm going to set up a Zoom link Zoom connection with you and I, and we'll go over it on your computer. Okay. My office hours are usually in the afternoons. I did that. I used to be earlier, but I noticed a lot of you students, a lot of you students, I noticed that the students prefer to usually sleep in a little bit. They work a little bit and they really get going about 3, 4, or 5 o'clock. So my office hours are listed there. Usually start at 3:30. Some days they go to 4:20. Some days they go to 4:45. Fridays they're at 2:30 because I have department chair meetings. So I have to go a little bit early. Okay. Again, talks about Mac users, problem with access. You can get Microsoft Office Professional 2019 for free, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. Okay. For a Mac or for whatever. Network problems. I hate to say it. I know there are things going up and down and all over the place, but you're responsible for your connection. So worst case scenario is usually most of my assignments are due on Wednesdays. So next Wednesday will be our first, we'll have to have our syllabus exam and our first discussion question done. But as we get going, there could be some, let's say, chapter 2 test. And it's Wednesday night and you're getting ready to take it and it's 10 o'clock at night. You've got 1 hour to do it, hour and a half, and your network goes down. Oh, I'll email, text, remind Mr. Neighbors that, hey, my network does not work. That doesn't get you out of anything. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to figure out a plan of action. One of them would be going to a friend's house that has networking, maybe using your cell phone connected as a tethering. Maybe, hey, we've all been to McDonald's. McDonald's, you can sit out front in their parking lot and use their Wi-Fi for free. Same with Starbucks. Same with Walmart. Done that before when I had some network issues. So you got to have a plan. Just because the network doesn't work at your house doesn't mean that that's the alternative. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna ask you, why didn't you start it earlier? I wouldn't when I have my tests due on Wednesdays, which they all are. I'd probably start on a Monday just to make sure you didn't have any problems. So if you started on the Monday, took the test and said, hey, my network stopped in the middle, I still have time to maybe restart it for you. But if you wait till 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night and then you text me, Mr. Chambers, I can't do it, can you restart it? I'm probably not even awake by that time. So you're out of luck, and the test date ended and I can't reopen it. Same for your computer problems. Always have a backup. We talked earlier about somebody said they have a Mac, but they also have a PC just to do certain things if they had to. Check with Uncle Aunt's boyfriends as a plan B, just in case your computer, never supposed to happen. The computers are supposed to be good forever, but they can have some issues. So always have a plan B, and you are responsible for those. Okay. Doesn't mean you get out of anything because something happened. Online conduct, grading. Here's my grading, what everything's worth. And as I scroll down, you may retake all these application tests. See these application tests, which are application or Microsoft Office products. You may retake them and make them up during the testing window. So if I told you the Windows was due today and you took it and you didn't like your grade, you can retake it up to 7 times before the due date. So after the due date passes, you can't go and make it up. So what do you say, Mr. Neighbors? If I take my project or I take my test or I do my training and I don't like my grade in these Microsoft Office products, I can take it again? Yes. Highest grade stays? Yes. I don't average them. I take your highest grade. Okay. Now, when we come to the lectures, the chapters, there are no makeups. You can't retake one shot. They're pretty straightforward. I don't try to trick you. On my midterm, we go 285. On the midterm, just covers 285, 100 points. After the midterm, we go 674. And somehow 5's there. It should be 4 there. 100 points, and away you go. We will have some discussions that you'll have to post. Here's my point system. And as you see here, I already go down to an 89 for an A, a 79 for a B. I've already given everybody all the way down 1 point. So when the end of the semester does come and you're like, oh, I'm 1 point shy of a B or an A, I'll say, no, you're actually 2 points because I gave you one at the beginning of the semester. Okay. So there we go there. I do want to go back to one more thing. I'm going to end share there. This class timeline, probably going to open in a new screen as well. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to share the class timeline. Here's our class timeline. This is also in Canvas's calendar. So you know what's due this week. We have a syllabus exam. You can take it as many times you want. I just want you to know and understand we're all on the same page. There's a discussion board post, which I'll take you down and show you what it is. It's just basically information about who you are and all this other stuff. And you see, we're going to start preparing here. What activities are coming? Windows 10. We'll have a test on the 3rd. We'll also do some lecture stuff on chapter 2, do the 3rd. We go down, we keep going down. Week 2, what's due? Due this week, we're going to have a reminder quiz. So what happens is I send you the password to unlock a quiz in Canvas. And the only way it gets to you is through your Remind message system. And if you don't have it, you can't get it. We do 2 of those extra credits. It's extra credit. Week 3. As you see, week 3, we have our Windows 10 test due. We're still working on chapter 2, which is going to come here on the 10th. And we go all the way through. As you see, every date is ready to go. Okay, every date is ready to go. So the timeline, which was found here in Canvas, all that stuff is right here. Okay. If you go into modules, you click modules, it's going to tell you everything too. It's going to load everything. I'm going to probably turn, well, it has the first 6 weeks loaded right now. So I'm going to go down to the first week. And you notice it tells me right here, Zoom meeting, okay. This information, change your picture, put your picture up. See, mine's, I got nothing up there. Need to do that. iOS 15 week 1, look at here. It talks about clicking on it. What I do, what's it have on there? It shows you how to do videos, how to do discussion boards, how to register and put your ID, your serial number into Connect, how to do it for SimNet, how to download the free Office, how to forward your district email, how to change your profile picture in Canvas. Okay. All this stuff. Mr. Neighbors, where were you? Where is it? That's magic. Where is that? That is right here. Information systems, week 1. Okay. Go all the way through here. You see, here's what's due on the 19th, right here, your quiz. You click right here, your discussion board, you click right here. I see some people have already made some comments on it. There's a video that shows you how to do it. So I scroll down, look at people are already posting. You reply to this post. And then you must reply to 2 other people. My children do the following. They tell me this is the way they like it and it makes sense. They respond to the discussion questions as soon as it becomes open. And then they wait closer to the due date to respond to 2 other people. That way, more people have had time to post something because a lot of people don't do it right away. So that's a good theory. Post when the discussion board opens, and then you wait, and then you can go back here and say, oh, I'm going to respond to somebody. Let's respond to this person. Just click on it and away you go, and you can respond. Okay. Quizzes, real easy. You click on it and away you go. Now, the nice thing here is we're going to go back in again. Let's go in here. Before we're ready to go into our Connect, you just click on it. I'm in and under student view, so it's going to give me a problem. And then SimNet, you do the same thing. Maybe if I got out, I'll get out and do it this way. Okay, I'll go into SimNet. Let's look at it as a student. After you follow that video on how to register, this is what everything's going to look like. Well, we know Windows is the first one we're going to work on. So we click on it and look at, there's two things. There's training and then there's a test, and it tells you the due date. Training, you just click on it. Yeah, I'll take it. Let's do these lessons. Look at all the lessons I have to do. Let's do it. So you have show me, guide me, and let me try. Show me is going to do step by step without you doing anything. Guide me is going to have some interaction between you and the computer. Let me try is just let me try. There's two things you can do. You can go this, this, and then this, and this is where you get your points. Or you can do like Mr. Neighbors. You could probably say, I think I know how to do that. So I'm going to do let me try first. Comes up. Which of the, you can have show hints. You can have all this other stuff. It says, which of the following points to start and answer, which one you think it is. Sometimes there's multiples. You can select more than once. You can say, I'm just guessing here. Let's just go A. Done. Hey, I'm correct. Go to the next problem. If I'm done here, I can always log out. Okay, it takes me right back to the training. I'm okay. Click right in here. I can look around. It shows me, let me see, there's a place. This is the book. Shows me all my stuff I want to do. I can exit out, but you'll notice I already got one, should have had one done already. Okay. So this is your training. If I was to go back and go into here, you would see that I have an application test. And I would always complete your training first, and then you can go do your application test. Okay, so this and then this. That's SimNet. And if I was to go back to tiles, let me go back to all assignments. Wait for the second. Come on. Assignments, come on. Okay, there they all are. I've loaded Word already. Some of it might not show yet because of the due dates. But you just click on each one. Windows is the only one that is going to have a different kind of a non-in-application type of test. So we'll get, when we start Word, it's the actual test is live in Word. The Windows exam is kind of a click on the screen type of thing, and we'll cover that as we go. So if we go back in and we look at Connect, it's a different piece of software. This is for more of the lecture. You'll see you have chapter 2, and there's a Learn Smart, which is training for chapter 2, asks you questions and goes through the book. And then there's a quiz, one shot on these. So if I was here and I was previewing the test, let's go, what it looks like. So here we go. Start with questions. Got it? So here's the deal. It asks you true or false. 1991, the internet was virtual, all text. No sound. Let's say, let's go true. It says, how confident are you? Let's just say, okay. If you want to read on it, you can. Oh, that's cool. So what this is this allows you to interact with questions and the reading at the same time. So if you're sure about the question, You can submit it and you could be done. Next question. Okay, I'm going to exit this. And let's go home. And you'll notice chapter 2, which is still not due till February, there's 2 components. There's the Learn Smart, where you learn and interact with the textbook, and then the quiz. Okay, so both of these. But here's something also nice. I have videos for each of these. So chapter 2, you have Learn Smart, and CIMNET, you have training. But when you're in modules, you come into modules and you'll see here, let's start, there's one at. Come on, chapter 1, week 3. You have what is called class lecture videos. If I click on it, this is chapter 2. Remember, you're going to do in Connect, you're going to do what is called a smart book. But I also have videos, and you'll see this spin and it's going to load. And if it doesn't, just hit F5 on your keyboard. There it goes. And you hit click. And there's voice from me, if you can hear it or not. And you go through here, and I have lectures, and I also have some videos. If you click on them, it brings up videos. But the big deal is this. I have questions that don't cost you anything to answer. Like this one, the internet is blank, made up of wires, satellites, cable, rules, blah, 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 of the network. Which one is it? The internet is a virtual network, physical network, domain. Let's say it's a physical network. Am I correct? I am correct. Next. Does that hurt me by answering that question right or wrong? Absolutely not. So as I lecture, I go through, look at more questions. Let's say ARPANET. Hey, I should take this class. Okay, we get going. We keep moving through here. So I have 14 questions embedded in this lecture. When you get ready to take your Connect test, I guarantee you, if you don't interact with my lectures, you're going to wonder, where do these questions come from? Even if you did the in Connect, if you did the smart book first before you took the quiz, this is going to help you a lot. Okay. So that's all done for. I mean, all my lectures are done before you have to take a quiz. You shouldn't freak out. They're all there. And I have questions that are very, very similar to questions that will be in the quizzes. Okay. So now let's look at another part of modules. Okay, as I come down here. Okay, everything shows you how to do it. That's your training. I'm gonna get out of here a little bit because it doesn't really happen until Word. Here we go. Training. Okay, Microsoft Word. All right, here's chapter 8. We start applications. I have all the, I got to find it here. I have all the videos. Here you go. Word. I have all the videos prepared for you. Bad. So you don't have to worry about them. I have step-by-step videos for every application. Let me bring it into the place. Okay, 2019 instructional videos. Here we go. This is in Excel. So you want to do project 1? Guess what? I recorded project 1 of me doing it exactly. And we're going to have another Zoom conference when we get ready to start the hard projects. So really don't freak out, because we're going to have a couple of other little quick Zoom meetings. But you're never, what I want to stress a lot is you're never like left without a video or step-by-step how to do something. So where are we at right now? What I would want you to do is spend this week doing the discussion board and the syllabus. And then probably next week, we'll get and have a real quick Zoom, not have to be there. I can record it for you, on how to do this quiz and this test in Windows 10. and then how to prepare for your chapter 2 test. Get you started on that. Okay. And then we'll get ready to evolve into a little harder stuff. And I think by the 3rd week, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Right now, it seems like there's so much, and you know what, I get it, but it's really not that bad. Totally really want you to do this information systems week 1. Look at everything's here. There are a ton of videos that show you, how do I register my Connect codes? How do I do it? I will be there for you. Okay. I want to open it up to questions.
Hi, I had a quick question on not the chapter quizzes, but on the other ones. How many times did you say we could retake those?
On the office exams, on the Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint,
Yes.
you can take those up to 7 times before the due date closes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I just had another question. So everything we do is basically going to be through the SimNet McGraw-Hill,
The
besides
Connect or the
discussion
SimNet.
board?
There will be
Okay.
some discussion boards inside of Canvas. You see what I'm saying? But everything else then will take, everything else except for the discussions will take place in SimNet and Connect.
Okay, and that includes the tests and everything?
Yes, ma'am. That's why
Okay.
it's so important that you get it ASAP. The nice thing is whatever you score in SimNet and Connect, it actually gets, they're linked together and it posts back into Canvas. So in your grade book, you'll be able to see everything. It's seamless.
Okay, thank you.
So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I looked through your video for the orientation, and in one of the slides, it said to download Flash and Shockwave.
Don't worry about Flash. It's all gone.
On the window. Is that going to be a problem?
Nope. Flash is gone. So I don't
What was
have
that?
anything built in Flash. I do want to do one thing since you brought that up. I want
Okay,
to show
so
everybody.
we're okay then.
You're totally okay. Everything is built in HTML5, which is native to any browser, except for Safari will go nuts on some stuff.
Okay.
I want to show you real quick a browser, just a second. I'm going to give, I'm trying to see which one I want. I'm going to go into my calendar. Which one's that? I'm going to go into and show you something. This is my calendar, and I'm in the web-based, you know, when you log into school and you check your school email account, it's all I'm in. I'm just in your school email account. This is my email account. I want you to see something. If you go up to where these buttons are right here, and you click on the they're like little boxes. I click on it. Watch what comes up. And if I come out here where it says 365, and I click on it, and there's one more thing to click. Watch, I'm moving out to the right. I'm moving out to the right. I'm moving out to the right. It says install Office. I click on it again and I go down to other install options. Look what it's going to give me now. Hopefully. Okay, I can install view devices and apps. I can do the full Office. You want to go here and look at this. You want to make sure all these icons show. Most likely you're 64-bit. Hit install, guess what? It goes. Okay. That's my computer. You can look for different if you want a different language. But remember, all I kept doing was going out. I hit those little buttons right here. I went to Office 365. As it loaded up, I went to install Office. Come out here, I go to other applications. If I went to this one, it just doesn't do everything I want it to do. And then I just go down here where it says View App and Devices. And I say install because you want that access to show up. Okay. Let me close out of here. And that is free, absolutely free to you. Okay. So the only thing you should be out money for is the 2 digital textbook codes that you purchased for the $100. Okay. More questions. Send them to me. Talk to me. I'm seeing there's some discussion questions happen over there. I'm not able to go back and forth very well before the two. Oh yes, I see something that says McGraw-Hill and SimNet do stuff. Is it posted in the calendars? Yes, it is. If I come out here and I go to the calendar, all that stuff shows up, and it's all linked together when everything is due. Your problem with SimNet not being compatible with Safari, you can download Chrome. I would do all my stuff. I don't care what you're doing. I'm not saying it's the best, but it interacts with SimNet Connect much better. If you have a Mac, go to google.com and download Chrome browser and just use that when you're using SimNet and Connect. More questions? Come on now. I see John's out walking around someplace. Good for you.
Do you suggest using the calendar for your due dates?
There are, there's 3 points. There is the modules that have the due dates. There is in syllabus, there is my timeline, it has the due dates, and the calendar in Canvas. They're all going to be identical, okay? It's whatever
Okay.
you prefer.
Okay, thank you.
More questions?
Yeah, I have one. Are we going to run into trouble if we decide to work ahead a little bit?
No, not at all. We will do, there is enough videos to get you through everything. I've taught this with this piece of software, probably it's had newer versions, but I've been with it for probably 10 years. So we have videos on everything and anything. Usually everybody likes to stick together until we start Word, and then Word's kind of we do a thing called projects for the first time, and I will do a Zoom meeting to kind of get everybody started. Once you're through with Word, people are like, okay, I got this. I'm totally got it. I know what's going to go on. And they start taking off and really working in advance. Other questions?
I have a question real quick.
Okay.
So you know how all those check marks were coming up when you were in the modules?
Or yes.
How will they come up like once I watch all those videos, or?
No, well, in Connect, they were coming up after I completed tasks, and also in SimNet. But in Canvas, in the modules, those are just lists of information.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's just
Okay.
everything that needs to be done, and I have it broken down by week, and I have videos in there, and everything's ready to go.
Okay, so the modules is just like helping, right? So
The
everything-
modules basically are the meat and potato of the lesson.
Okay.
The lessons are in there, and if they say, okay, at this point, go into SimNet, you click on it and go into it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what I would always do, I would go to Canvas, I would go to modules, I would go to that week and read everything in that module. And then go from there. That's the pirate map. How's that? If you want to find the treasure. Other questions?
This application used only for a student?
No, anybody can use it.
No, I mean only for teaching. After that, we use to or not?
Having trouble following you on that one. So for Office, you can use Office for as long as you can install it and keep it as long as you're at the college, not just for this class, for every class you have, and it won't go away. And I don't know if you graduate, I don't know if it goes away. I don't know. Other
I had a question.
Yes.
Okay, so like I know you said that we're not gonna have Zoom meetings, but like, will we ever have something like this in the future, like orientations?
Yeah, when we go into the harder stuff, I might have them, but I'll always record it and then post the link for everybody.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea too.
You know what? Until you get going, I think we have to kind of stick together on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's nice, even if it's a 5-minute video, we get together and say, here's what we're going to do real quick to make sure you know
Yeah,
Good
to
to
get our
go.
questions through for everybody.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
once everybody understands the software connect and SIMnet, I think you'll become pretty independent.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a time? No, usually about the same time, right about now.
Okay.
Other questions?
I had a quick question.
Go for it.
I was looking at like SIMnet, and how do you once again get into the assignments on SIMnet? Because it's just showing me like it's saying assignments, but it's not letting me click anything.
Right. Let me get in here. What you need to do, you go into your class. You're in IS-15 and you need to get into SIMnet. You click on it, comes up. This is a teacher, so comes up like this for you as a student. See this? You click on assignment right here. There you go.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
You can also hit by list. Look at what else you can do. You can list it. So if I go back to home, I can hit list. And I can click Windows.
Okay.
So there's tiles and there's list.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. More questions? Go into modules first week, read that post. You'll also get it by announcements here coming up soon. There's tons of videos on how to put your codes in, how to do everything. All right. Any other questions from anybody else? I'm going to send this back out as a recording so you can.
Yes.
Go ahead,
do we
Gina.
have weekly or monthly Zoom meetings?
We do not have them scheduled weekly, but I bet you can
Yes, I
plan
was
on
saying,
having.
do we have?
All my lectures are already recorded and they're found in our modules. But we will have what I call, what do you call it? Just rallying points. I'm probably next week, about Thursday, we're going to do another little Zoom. We're going to be talking about how to do the SIMnet Windows quiz and training, just to get you all squared away. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But other than that, no, they are not scheduled where you
Yes.
have to be here at certain times.
Thank you.
Other question? Yeah, go ahead.
Earlier, you were saying about about the codes. I'm right now, like if I will be putting, like if I will start setting up the code for SIMnet,
Yes.
and I see username and password, but I mean,
You're going to have to register.
where?
Okay. If you go to modules in Canvas, under week 1, there's the first link has a whole bunch of videos on how to do that.
And as well as
Yes, ma'am.
and the other one will be as well right here. What is it called? The connect.
Yes. If you go to modules and you go to week 1, the first link at the top of week 1, excuse me, it says information systems week 1. If you click on it, there are several videos that are going to show you how to do everything that you need to do. The biggest thing this week, what is due next Wednesday, is your syllabus exam found in Canvas. It's in Canvas, and doing your discussion question. That's all you have to worry about until next week. Now, I do want you to get your codes and get your software installed. But if you follow the directions on module week 1, you will see there's videos on how to do that as well.
I have a concern.
Yes.
I see that it starts with week 6,
No,
February
no.
17th.
Scroll to the bottom.
And
That's just the first 6 weeks that are listed.
Oh, Oh, I see.
I can turn.
Oh, okay, so it starts from all the way from the,
Because usually, here's what I do. I'm turning them off right now. If you hit refresh, I'm turning all those weeks off. So all you see is the first 2 weeks now. That way you don't have all that extra stuff.
okay.
See what I did? Because usually what I did is I just listed it. I usually just turn one on or two on at a time.
I see
And
what
then
you're
as the
saying.
new one comes, it always stays at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I scrolled all the way down. It's on the bottom, so I was getting confused. Okay, so on
Now
week
hit
one,
F5 on your computer and it'll refresh, and you'll see that there's only 2 weeks listed there under modules, and it's not that far down anymore.
okay. Okay, so like you said, register first, right?
Yep. Go through that first link under week 1, information systems 15, week 1. Click on it. There's videos. There's everything. You should be good.
Okay, I wasn't here. I was not able to get in the first 8 minutes of this live. If I get stuck on anything, like you
I'm
said,
sending you the link of this video. You can rewatch it.
okay, and as well, I text you. You said it's fine to text you.
Everything in there shows you. I would use Remind to message me, and then we can go from there. Or in Canvas, there's an email function right below the calendar. It says inbox. You can send me an email to that. I kind of prefer that way because if you go to my regular email box at the college, it gets mixed up with everybody else's stuff.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Other questions out there?
You probably already answered this, but when I went to Canvas, I seen like a orientation syllabus quiz.
Yes,
That's not
sir.
through the McGraw, right?
That's
just
not through
on-
there. No, you're right. The discussion and the first quiz are not done through there.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
But you do need to get that software, okay?
Got you. All right.
All right. Again, this is the teacher interface.
Yes.
You know how it says it's due February 3rd on the timeline?
Okay.
We could do that, like, even though it's not on week 1, we could start it already.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I had a question.
Go ahead, Christopher.
So, for SimNet and McGraw, I have other IS classes that I'm going to be taking. Would that be applicable for other classes as well, or is it just for this one class?
Just this one class. Now, if you're taking IS 16 and 18, it might.
And I would be able to use the same?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. And so if I would be taking those classes, then I would just be using the same codes?
Yes. You just come right in.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Talk to your instructor, though, to make sure if you're in those classes.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, will do. Thank you.
More questions? All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to end the recording here. If you have personal questions,